Today is World Plant Milk Day, and whether you choose soy, almond, oat, or coconut milk, I've got a sweet way to use it in this week's Brittany's Bites. Today is World Plant Milk Day. Yep, that's right. So we're celebrating everything that's essentially not dairy milk. Oat milk, soy milk, in my case today, almond milk, cashew milk, all of them. And almost every recipe where you use regular milk, you can replace it with plant milk. So that's what we're doing today. We are making something fancy, at least fancy sounding. You can impress your friends and family, but it's actually really easy to make. We're making a classic cherry clafoutis. All right, it's a French dessert. Here in America, often we say cherry clafoutis. See, I can't even say it the American way. Cherry clafoutis or cherry clafoutis. So it's very, very easy. It's basically a little bit like a custard pie without the crust. Some people describe it as a Dutch baby pancake. Again, cherry is the classic fruit you use. You can also use blueberry, tangerine, peach, anything like that. Whatever fruit you have on hand and you really like, you can make this with it. Okay, so we've got just a pie dish here. A lot of people use gratin dishes. If you have one of those at home, definitely use that. I'm just going with a 9-inch pie plate, easy breezy. I've got some cherries here already pitted. I've seen some great ones in the store lately, so I'm excited to make this one. They come like this. All you do is take out the stem, and if you have a handy dandy cherry pitter like I have, it's so easy. You just take it, put one in here, right, out comes the pit. There you go. So fun to use too. You can get the kids involved in that. It's pretty safe to use. So here we have about 3 cups of cherries. In this bowl, I have 3 eggs already in there. And to that, we are going to add a teaspoon of almond extract, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and then we're gonna have, a cup of our plant milk, right? This is almond milk. So I've got a cup, I'm putting in right there. And then the last thing here we're gonna add for a little sweetness without sugar, and in fact I'm using sugar-free pancake syrup, maple syrup, about ½ cup. Pour this all right in here and whisk it together. See, it's so easy so far, right? You don't even have to get out your mixer. You just wanna make sure that the eggs are really whisked up. Get a little messy here in the kitchen. Then we're just gonna add one more thing, 3/4 cups of flour. I've already measured that out. And this you definitely want to add in last because you don't want to beat this up too much because of course as soon as you add flour, you sort of start to develop the gluten and you don't want to do that too much. You just want to mix it up until it's smooth. You definitely don't want any lumps. All right, we've got that ready to go. Over here we've got our pie plate. Now this is the fun part. You just sort of arrange your fruit. Now if you're doing sliced fruit such as peaches or tangerines, you can place them and make them all pretty. I'm just going to dump these in. You basically want them to cover all of the bottom. And depending upon how big your cherries are, that's why it's about 3 cups. How pretty is that? Looks great already. See, it's gonna look really fancy and it's really so easy to do. All right, you've got your mixture here and you want to be careful when you're pouring it in because you don't want everything to overflow. Pour it over very carefully. Looks so pretty. All right, there we go. We're gonna cover these all up and they will float a little bit to the top so you will be able to see them once this bakes. And speaking of baking, I have my oven preheating behind me at 350 degrees and I'm gonna pop this in for 30 minutes. But that's how easy it is to make something that's gonna turn out and look very, very fancy. Here we have our cherry clafoutis coming right out of the oven. It's been sitting here for about 10 minutes or so just to cool off a bit. It looks great. I think we've baked it enough. It smells fantastic. You can see there some of those fresh cherries popping out. And I should have mentioned before, you don't have to use fresh fruit. You can use frozen fruit. So obviously cherries aren't always in season and aren't always great. So you can always get them in the frozen section as well. But there we go. We're just gonna add one little thing to it. I love this little sieve here. It's like a tiny sieve. And then you can sprinkle on powdered sugar. There we go, and make it look so pretty. I'm gonna get it everywhere, but it's gonna look gorgeous when I'm done. There we go. And then when you slice up into little slices, it's gonna look so pretty to serve your guests or your family, or just to eat it yourself. Cheers. Well, if you have a recipe to share or an idea for a future segment, you can text us at 614-460-3345 or find me on social media.